We're looking forward to see some great rallies from these two guys.
What we can expect here is that the rallies are not really short and that no one is really going for the winner. In Recklon it is more about not losing the point instead of winning the point. And I think both players are just trying to wait for the mistake of the other player. And just if there is a ball that is really short or really high, they try to get into a good position, but not really more often. Otherwise, they just played into the field with a lot of length.
We'll see. Let's see what they will show us, what performance they will show us.
And Emanuel is starting with the serve. Love all, and in total, the total score is 109 to 102. That makes a 7-point lead for Team GP. Oh, Leon Griffiths is really going for the winner quite fast.
This was out from my perspective.
Well, but that is a easy fault. So I didn't expect that. So Leon Griffiths already from the first rally onward, he's the more active player. Really tried to go for it and to win the point, and not just what I stated before, not lose the point. But after that, when he could change his tactics, he's all hitting with a lot of length into the backhand of Emanuel Chip, and that is good.
Yeah, the court here is quite fast, like we mentioned before in the former match, and this gives the attacking player also an edge, especially when you're already tired. Like we mentioned, Leon played just before this final, the men's doubles elite final, so it's it's showing now that he's already maybe adjusting his tactics. Solid serve here from Leon now.
But Leon is the more active player so far in this game.
Emanuel plays the classic racquetball tennis here.
But I wonder why he's not playing with more length, because if you look at it, he's just hitting any ball into the tee line, no more. But now he tries to be a bit more active. But Leon Griffiths has also changed his techniques. He's not really that active anymore. He's also just hitting the ball into the fields. And that is the easy mistake. So that is really what Emanuel is looking for. So that is the second serve of from Leon Griffiths right now. Good serve. Oh,
amazing.
But a good
serve.
return as well. Well, it was out. At least Emanuel Chip thinks that, but the ref does think it was differently. What do they do now? Are they gonna play that? Yeah, they think so. Because Emanuel Chip was 100% sure that the ball was out, but so Leon Griffiths was the other way around.
So I think it's the first serve now.
Not the first serve now. That one was out. For sure. That is also what the ref stated. Emanuel Chip is already waiting way more in front for the second serve. Oh, another easy mistake from Liam. So that is, now he might get a bit nervous. And if...
Yeah, he knows that he has to be active because Emanuel won't do anything for the game. Yeah, Emanuel wants to collect points. That's his goal here.
Easily. And he's just waiting for the falls of the opponent.
And he knows that it's that his opponent is tired, that he's now in a good position. Especially when you are involving him into long rallies, and that's going to be tough for him.
The more active player once again.
Really
and
good.
And then another easy mistake. So Emanuel Chip is really, I think he's really happy right now with his performance. Not made a single mistake yet, except of, well, I think the only point Emanuel has lost yeah, was a winner from Leon, but he has not made an unforced error yet, and that is really what he's looking for. Just playing the ball into the field and collecting points, and that is really what is working well right now, because right now Leon is risking quite a lot. Another mistake by Leon.
Yeah, he missed this one as well, and it's 5-1 for Emanuel.
Only the lead has declined quite fastly.
Who would have thought that before this set?
That's what I said before. It could be really spread, but now, Leon might get a bit nervous.
It's the ball in the middle of the court. Emanuel is going for kind of. It looks like he goes for this ball to hit the ball.
He's not risking anything at all. Just hitting the ball to the tee line, with enough space to the other lines, into the middle of the court. And now Leon Griffiths might get a bit nervous, because he knows that he would need to be the active player to score points, because Emanuel is not hitting any unforced errors. Now even using the forehand slice onto the line. Now he's going onto the net. And he really has chosen the right time to do that.
A really surprising attack. Leon wasn't expecting that at all. And then 2 forehand slices on the backhand. One was even on the line, I think. It bounced like really terrible. And
a really interesting tennis set. 6-1. Well, Leon, in a normal tennis game, Leon would win, but you never know in Rekelen, because it is just, especially in a teams match, it is just to 11, and that goes really fast, because now we've just seen 5 mistakes from Leon in a row. After 1-all, it is 6-1, and it is going along you really easily, but it wouldn't meet anything yet, because of course it would be really great for Team Austria to win this tennis set really high, but you don't really know yet how Matilda Parslow is playing tennis.
Let's not focus on that. Let's focus on this match now, and let's see if Emanuel can finish the set like he started.
Good length, but then the lob of Emanuel Schöpf has a good length again, so
the rally starts all over again, and it's like, for me...
good angle.
Yeah, but for...
has opened up the court, but now he's moving to the net again.
Yeah, this one, an easy point. And
that is the way how he has to play. Just try to open up the court with high angles, and then the court is open. But of course, if you try to attack or to do anything in that direction, it is more likely to make mistakes as well, and you have to keep that one in mind. Good ball onto the backhand of Leon. A short ball again. It could be that Emanuel tries that Leon is coming to the net and making his mistake.
Leon now, he plays a bit faster than before, but not too fast. Now it's a really controlled pace, and
only onto the backhand of Emanuel anymore. It looked for a second at this. Now the forehand slice.
Just to mix it up a bit.
The ball is not over yet.
And this one is just... Oh yeah.
Now he's really playing a bit better again, because he's not really...
And Emanuel just was out of balance, and...
that is really a problem. The side wall, no one really know why it is there, because you can't hit the ball properly, especially if a left-hander is serving from left side. It is impossible to return the ball, because it just because of the side wall.
Yeah, thank you that you mentioned it. You as a player, from a player's perspective.
I think we've seen also Georg Steusser in the game. Georg Steusser against... Oh, now he's also trying to be a bit more active, and there is the fist of Leon Griffiths, but um, I think in the game Stoisse Busby against Windisberger Dickert, we've already seen a point where where Georg Stoisser hit an ace to Windisberger because it was unreturnable. Now Team Austria would need an easy mistake.
Because of these banners. Of course, one of the banners is from weblivescore.com, which is very important because it's responsible for the live scores we see here. But
the lead declines again.
Yeah,
so
but the scores we see now are not so satisfying for the Austrian spectators. After 6-1, we have now a 6-5 lead.
Emanuel really tries to be more active now again. The game is slightly moving back to the direction of Leon Griffiths. Solid second serve of Leon Griffiths. Now Team Austria would need an easy mistake again.
Oh, great backhand.
And that is what he needs. He needs to wait till the possibility is there to go and put Leon under pressure. And that was really good now because Leon has expected a long line because he was standing at the other side of the court, but Emanuel Tripp has done the complete opposite and went for the cross court with a lot of angle, and that was the perfect thing in this moment. So Emanuel knows now that Leon is also not going to be that active anymore. He's just, what we have seen here is hitting the ball quite early, but not too aggressive anymore. And now he goes for the long line. So
two backhand winners in a row, one cross court, one long line. It's
oh
amazing.
My gosh! Oh my gosh!
It's just incredible. It's totally worth it that we're here now at 11 p.m. local time and watching this incredible close match between Team Great Britain 1 and Team Austria 1 for the FIR World Cup.
So Emanuel really knows what to do now. He's going for the stop, but wasn't good enough to stop and the fist of Leon. But I think Emanuel could already be really happy if he's winning the set, even if it's just by 2 points.
Yeah, I think also like if it's a close call, it's also a good result for Emanuel. Like in general, before that, I would say that would have been a close call. But now we need every point. We need all the players to put out to bring out the maximum, to give it all what they have, and yeah, it would be great if Emanuel can keep it up and can finish this set off like he started.
Going to the net.
Still inside, and it's
another
amazing.
Point for. So right now Emanuel Tripp is really doing a great job. He is only attacking in situations where he really knows when it is needed and when it is possible to do that, because it is, attacking is always risky, but if he really finds the situations, the perfect situations, it is not that risky, and that's what he did at the last 3 points.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, the return was kind of a mishit, but he took advantage of it. He just went after the ball and forced the error of Leon Griffiths, and now it's another long rally again. They're waiting for the points to open up.
What we can see here now is that
it's overpowered. The ball is out.
Yeah.
Set point to Emanuel Tripp.
No one has. I think that no one has expected that he's gonna win the tennis set. Of course, it's not over yet, but there is the first set point for him. First serve out. But we can really see a change of tactics here in the game of Leon Griffiths.
Great return.
But Emanuel Tripp knows an answer in it. but Leon Griffith is playing on the backhand only anymore.
It's like,
No, he probably goes for the long line. Yeah, he does that.
that's a
Now to mix it
forehand
up again.
slice. Yeah. High backhand slice.
No,
And this was out. Was it?
another discussion. Was it out or in?
The umpire is not able to call it. Emanuel says it's out.
You know, in such a situation, I would not like to be the umpire.
Yeah, you need a line judge. It's like really fast. But they are just, I think they are going to replay the point. Are they?
It's now on the. It says 10-6, 10-7. Sorry.
So the
That
point-
would mean that Leon Griffith is getting the point. Yeah, and it
So-
seems like that is what happens.
So it was good.
That means that the umpire called it good. Next chance for Emanuel.
A really great backhand. Oh,
But Emanuel always finds the perfect reaction onto the good shots.
this one was out. Oh, amazing ball on the line.
And that is
that's
the
it.
win
He wins the tennis set.
by 11-7. Really good results for Team Austria.
This is really good. And now we are -3 or +3 for Team Great Britain. And
Incredible tennis performance by Emanuel Schöpf.
I hope you are not tired yet, because we are not going to sleep. No, it's I'm really excited here. It's going to be interesting to see what Matilda Paslo is doing on the tennis court, how she's playing. I'm really it's going to be a big surprise for all of us.
As I stated before, we haven't really it hasn't seemed like that one of the three sports we've seen so far were one of the specialities of Matilda. So it could be the tennis is her specialty, but you never know. Well, we don't know yet.
Let's see how the first through.
Well, there's short.
The
The net has clipped out of the floor, but now they're ready to warm up.
But tennis is also the best sport from Bettina Pugel.
She's played a lot. I've talked to her and she said, well, it seems like it's not the best sport of Matilda Paslo because, yeah, it's a little bit strange because she's hitting really straight the ball with not a lot of spin. So it
Yeah.
could be that today is the game of Team Austria because
Yeah,
so
this-
far, well, of course, at some situations, it could have been a bit better for Team Austria, but especially the last set was really good. Because imagine if Emanuel Schöpf would have lost the set by 8 or 9 points, and that would have made the difference of 10 in total. Because now it's +4, and well, it's not 10, but now it's +4, and otherwise it would have been -3.
Yeah, it's a makes a huge difference. Like, but we will see. I mean, Matilda Paslo, she surprised us in badminton and especially in squash with her uncommon technique. It's like when you are playing against a player you don't know. It's always difficult, especially when you're under pressure. And on this fast court with a flat stroke, you can always make some points. You see, like for example, if you hit like this in the only in the warm-up you saw, it can be a quick point, and she hits it really unconventional, and I think she will make some points out of strange positions, and we will see how she's serving.
I totally agree. I think that the slice could be a thing that is could be her shot, because she's hitting it a bit unconventional, and that is often a bit hard to return again, because if she, well, we don't see that from here, but if she's hitting the ball with a bit of side spin or anything like that, it is going to be really hard to get used to it for Bettina if she's used to real tennis players who are hitting it perfectly well with backspin only, and yeah, we'll see in a second how everything goes.
This serve, it looks like not so comfortable to return.
Yeah, it's really strange, not that much spin.
Yeah, it has kind of a slice, it seems like. But then she does maybe with her ankle something in the end. She has a really open racket when she's serving. At least it's not too fast, because I was worried that it would be a really fast serve, which is when you have a fast serve on this surface, on this court, it will bring you, when you serve it in, of course, maybe some 3 points, because when you hit the lines, they're really slippery, they're really slick.
But also, if you don't hit the lines, it is already hard to return because of the fast surface. What you've stated before correctly, Peter.
But let's see how this match will turn out. What the rallies will look like. Bettina going for the safe serve.
Yeah, and there we see the backhand serve I've stated before. A nice reaction onto that one, onto the line. But now she's just playing safe anymore, and that is already, and that might be already enough against Matilda Parsler.
Let's see. Yeah, she needs to move her. That was what we figured in all the sports. If Matilda is being moved, then she's out of balance. Maybe bring her out of balance, and then she will make some mistakes. But yeah, she's always good for a direct point.
And what we can see here is that Matilda Parsler is not really a player with a real strength, but she's playing all sports quite the same way. But now there is the winner.
Yeah, this one is the one I caught before, because when you have such a straight shot, then you just a flat shot, then you just can do it with the open hand, and it's the opponent doesn't know where the ball lands, and
that brings us to the score in 1-1, and in total 117 to 114 for Team GP. Now we can see how her second serve is, because she might get a bit uncomfortable, but with it, but easy as that, just serve it into the field. But that's what I've spoken before about, because of the strange slice with some side spin. It is something that is a bit strange to return for Bettina.
That's why she stays now on the forehand. She prefers that. You don't know, especially when somebody hits a slice like that, you don't know if it's going to be a drop shot, if it's going to be really short, or if it's going long. You cannot see it, and if the player just plays such an extreme slice, you always have to take care of the short ball, and yeah, it can be different. Especially you're the better tennis player, like Bettina Pugel now, and you need to perform. It's a similar position like in the set before. I would say Emanuel is a good tennis player, and he knows, especially a good racquetball tennis player. And I had the honor to play in the tennis league with him, and he also knows how to perform on a league level in tennis. So he's like used to that. I think this one was out, and yeah. So Bettina Pugel, also league player in Austria. She played a lot of tennis in her youth. She's now 3-1 up, and
you do have to say that the game is really moving into the direction of Team Austria, because after the women's single, the men's doubles is coming, and that means that 3 squash players are playing against 1 tennis player, and this 1 tennis player is on the side of Team Austria, and that is Florian Harker. And Lucas Winnichberg also not a bad player, and that is really what she has to do now. Bettina Pugel, move her around, and then if the court is open, she can go for it, and that is really good what she does right now. And now we have an equal score of 117 against 217, so it couldn't be closer right now.
It's so great. I mean, it's 11-15, and we are totally even. Austria against Great Britain. Great Britain, of course, is the favorite here in this match, as reigning world champions. And Austria lost the last time early against Team Germany. and
which is playing the other semi-final right now against Team Denmark.
exactly. We will see who will win there. And yeah, it's great, great racquetball that is still
Being
played here. Yeah, been played here in the night. Here at the Racket Sport Center Graz on the Generalis Center court that you are now watching live here on Streamster. Oh,
and that is a 6-1. Matilda scored a quick point with a I think it was a forehand winner.
yes,
A flat forehand winner. And then Bettina Pugel has scored 5 more points after 1-all. It is 6-1 now. So it is really going into the direction of Bettina Pugel and Team Austria now. Right now, what we can see here is that Marcel Weigel, the Austrian president, and also Florian Harker, of whom I've spoken before, who is the great tennis player, and who is playing in the doubles, men doubles, are coaching Bettina, and for Team GP, Dan Busby is coaching her. But in such situations, you don't really know what to say, because quite often you can only motivate them. Because what would you say? You cannot change any technique. You can just tell some kind of tactics, but it is not easy at such a scale. But now Bettina has underestimated the spin of the serve, and that is another point for it. So that has already taken place sometimes. That Bettina Bugas underestimated the serve, because of which I've spoken before. The slice is a little bit strange and unconventional, but it is kind of effective, especially to tennis player who used to real slice. Now second serve of Bettina. Yeah, that's what she does, just playing the ball into the field. Now again the slice. Yeah, but you can really see, well, the flat forehand of Matilda Parslow. There's not a lot of spin in there, but again, in the slides we have just seen here, is there's a lot of spin, a lot of backspin, and also a lot of side spin, which is not easy to return for Bettina.
I thought it looked like it would go out, but now this really great cross-court. Bettina plays a really solid tactic now. She just waits for the point. She waits until she can finish the point off. She does not make any risky shots. She does not go for unnecessary winners. She plays exactly like a racquetball tennis match should be played.
Yeah, I totally agree. If there is a chance for her, she's trying to hit a solid and well. Yeah, there's an easy mistakes, but
yeah, it wasn't so easy. You know, it was again this flat forehand on the backhand. It was unexpected.
And I think it has also touched the line.
Yeah, this is like we talked about that before. It's like really hard when you hear get to the lines.
Yeah, but she's playing a really solid tennis set right now. She might still be a bit angry of her squash performance, because she has expected a bit more, but now she's playing solid. But once we're talking about her game, she's making two easy mistakes.
This is the cause of the moderators, that when you are saying something, they will show you different. Anyways, Bettina is still up. She's the better tennis player here. She has it on her racket to win this match and to win this set.
That's it. Once the short or high ball is coming, Bettina is putting it into the field on the correct spot with no risk, and it's not too fast. It's just well placed, and that is really what she has to do right now. And that brings her a lead of +4 in tennis set and a total lead of +8. And
no, it's a lead of for Team Austria by +1. It's 1 point up.
Yeah, but I meant the
8-4. Sure.
The women's singles in. So right now the weakness.
So 3 more points.
Team GP is really solid, but the weakness of them is actually the women. Well, I wouldn't really call it a weakness because she's performed superbly well in the squash set. Yeah, but you can really see that there's a lot of side spin in there because she's swinging into the left side of our perspective, or in the left direction.
And Bettina is avoiding the backhand because of that. But now an out ball and 9-4. I think Matilda wasn't sure, but from our perspective, it was pretty clear. There was out, and
that brings her to a 9-4 lead. 2 more points for her to need to finish the set off. Now she
went
also
for a
hit.
fast serve.
Yeah.
The first one. Now she gained a bit confidence.
So on this day, because it's the best player of Team GP, what I've heard so far of all the Team GP players, I mean also what Duncan said is that Izzy Bremer would still be the best British female Reculum player, but unfortunately she injured herself not long before the World Championships here in Graz, and that is actually the weakness of this team. Because of course she's played great in squash, but 11-2 in. But that one, the referee still calls it a.
Yes, this
that
was
is
in.
the win. That is the win. How I would finish it off is that she doesn't really have a sport that is really better than all the others. It's just that she plays all the 4 sports solid and a bit unconventional. But she hasn't played bad at all. It is just a.
She delivered. She delivered on the promise, and she delivered the points. It was really good performance from her.
And minus 11 is not too bad result for a world class player like Bettina is.
Exactly. And Bettina was a little bit disappointed, of course, about her squash set, but she turned it into a solid tennis lead. And now it's like funny that the players are warming up like in
Badminton.
Like badminton style, exactly, with the same team.
Team Austria is warming up with Team Austria.
And yeah, it's really great that we have here. it's sometimes fun to see that when you see where the players are from, or their background is when they trying to do some unconventional warm up.
But it is quite funny because none of them is a real badminton player. Because Matthew Davidson on the left corner is a squash player. Then the other English player is a squash player as well. Then we have the Lucas Finishberger, who is, I think, also a squash player.
Now it's a squash player.
But as a kid he began with tennis, and then there is Florian Harko, who is a real tennis player and tried to become a professional at some point, in which he didn't succeed, but not a lot. But of course, tennis is really hard to become a professional. But he has really done a great job, and nearly succeeded in his goal.
Yeah, and Florian Harker changed his tennis game to kind of a racquetball version.
Yeah, totally agree.
Because when he started like in racquetball, he was like playing normal, regular tennis, like a lot of taking more risks a bit, and
trying to hit a lot of winners and everything like that.
And he reduced that, yeah.
He's now really waiting for the situations in which it is really possible to minimize the risks for winners, and I think I've also seen him playing in Nussloch 2 weeks ago at the IWT German Open, and there he's also produced some great tennis.
Yeah, it's for Florian. It depends a lot on the surface, because when he can play on a hard court or on a clay court, then he will perform way better than on a carpet. But in this case, in a doubles match, it's a total different game, because in a doubles match you play much more offensive. you have a partner who can volley it, so he can play different than the regular
Yeah.
racquetball doubles, and I think you're going to see a great tennis doubles here.
I totally
And-
agree. Because if you look back 1 week to the under 21 singles final where he's played against Luke Griffiths, who's right now playing the second man singles, he could have. Well, Luke Griffiths needed 10 more points, and I think it would have been possible on a clay court, but on the fast carpet, it is really difficult, especially if your opponent hits the first serve into the field, and because of that, it is really difficult to do that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Matthew Davidson, who's hitting the ball generally really hard, how he's going to play here. He's like he has no racquetball tennis, I would say.
Yeah, but I think that Matthew is playing some solid tennis, but it is more Duncan who is, I think, a bit unsafe when it comes to his shots.
Mhm.
But now we'll see how it continues. Lovell and Florian Harker starts to serve. That's it, what I said. Duncan Saul is not, that's what I've seen in the warm-ups well, Duncan Saul is not 100% confident in his shots, and there was the first easy mistake of him.
Yeah, and he knows if he has Florian Harker on the other side. But they played against each other at British Open.
Yeah, but there was a problem of Florian Harker of the grass court.
Yeah.
Because at the IWT London Open, I think it was 4 weeks ago, Florian Harker, it took place at Roehampton Club, and Winnisberger really going for it, but it took place at the Roehampton Club, where also grass tennis courts are, and it was the first time for him to ever play on such courts. And because of that, he wasn't able to show his quality in tennis, as he couldn't have adapted his game to grass court while the serve was out. But because the tennis on grass court is completely different to what it is on courts we're used to here in Austria. Because you need to serve a lot, you need to play a lot more serve and volley and everything and the court is way faster. So we can see here that Florian is trying to hit the ball more onto Duncan because, as I said before, he does seem the weakest tennis player on court, and he doesn't feel that comfortable in his hits, and that brings us to 3-love.
3 mistakes by Duncan. Huh?
That's true. Good point. We can really see how well we can really see well the quality of Florian Harker because he's moved a lot on the net. Look how his partner Winnisberger is playing the shots and
he's
moving all the time.
Yeah, and it was like closing the area where they could play the ball.
Well, Duncan Saul continues playing it even though the serve was already out.
The ref didn't call it out, so it's the near line for the ref, and it's a decision that can only be made by the ref
himself.
And Matthew called the ball out, but it's the near line of the ref, and the ref says I call the balls here. And
that brings us to 2 new serves of Winnisberger.
Yeah, exactly.
They just played the lead of the whole point. Duncan's all trying to stay cross court and not hit the ball onto Florian Harker because he knows that he's ready.
Yeah, this one was in the net. 5-0 for Team Austria, and we have a 9-point lead now.
That is incredible. So if it continues like this, Georg Steusser won't play tennis anymore, which wasn't expected at all before the tennis set. Because imagine just if Griffiths would have won the tennis set, and that is a 6-love. Oh my god!
They're changing sides at 6-love in tennis.
The Austrian team is already celebrating a bit.
Yeah. With right. This is
And-
like
and
really unexpected.
So I even think that if Georg is still gonna play tennis, he won't need too many points. And I think Griffith is a good tennis player, Luke, but I think he can't beat Georg Steusser too high in tennis.
Yeah, it's similar like the other way around in squash. It was clear that Luke is going to make some points, to score some points in squash against Georg, and it's also clear that Georg will make some points
I
against
don't even
Luke in
think
tennis.
that Georg could win a full set of tennis of regular tennis against Luke. So this is again what I call an open set, because you don't really know now. Lucas is going for the lob, and now the rally started from the beginning onwards.
Oh, nice
Good length
ball.
of Matthew. Now
Ah,
there,
Great slice from Luki. Yeah,
but there's the first fault of Team Austria.
yeah, but this was a good point by Team Great Britain.
After the good lob of Lucas Winnisberger.
And Matthew Davidson controlled this rally and he earned the point. Great serve,
What a
but
nice
this was
return.
in. Amazing, amazing. Lucas, I think he was a bit late on the ball and it just landed in. It's just
But
slightly out of our view here, but it was on the line.
But a great return. You could have. I think Lucas Winnisberger has seen Duncan moving forwards, and because they still tried to hit a lob in the last second, and because that he was a bit too late. But then he still found the line and now produced an epic return winner. Oh, and that is 8-1.
Amazing.
Well, after squash sets, no one has really thought that is gonna go into that the match is still gonna move into the direction of Team Austria. But now Emanuel Schöpf has produced some incredible tennis, followed by some incredible tennis as well by Bettina Bugler. And now the doubles, Winnisberger. Now an easy mistake by Winnisberger. Well, it wasn't too easy because Duncan has hit it directly onto his body. But now the doubles team, Harker, Winnisberger is bringing it home. So right now it's looking really great for Team Austria. First serve of good serve,
Great serve.
but
Great
good reaction. And now going for the lob, but
Yeah.
it was a bit too short.
Amazing ball from Lukas Windischberger. Like he does nothing else than playing tennis.
Even though he's not playing a lot of tennis at all anymore, just two amazing reactions of him. So it seems like in tennis, all of the Austrians are playing great.
Yeah, they are. They waited for the tennis to show their best performance.
Because you could have, in the end, those some points that were missed by Lucas Winnisberger and by Georg Steusser in the squash set could have missed Team Austria in the
But
end.
this one is out as well, and that is set point and match point for Team Austria.
Oh, that was unexpected. And now it is the first match point for Team Austria because they already have a +10 lead in their bag, and now it is the moment for Lucas Winnisberger to bring it home. Now moving onto this forward to the net, but the volley wasn't too good. But good reaction by Matthew Davison. And that is it. That is the win for Team Austria. After not too good squash performance, they still have won without the last singles game. Incredible tennis performance by all of them. A 11-6 tennis set by Emanuel Schöpf against Leon Griffiths, which was not expected at all. Then a solid set by Bettina Bugler. Now the team Harker Winnisberger brought it home, and now Georg Steusser is now forced to play his tennis set anymore because of a +13 lead by Team Austria.
So we are going to see Team Austria tomorrow in the final.
Against?
And we don't know yet. the other team is playing, and it's really close in the second semi-final. It's 106 to 105, Germany against Denmark.
Just 1 point difference, so
yes.
it is going to be really interesting there as well.
Yes, definitely. Anyways, Austria made it into the final, and we are going to be live on Austrian national television at 10 p.m. tomorrow. And I hope you will be joining us, and it's going to be great. Team Austria is playing for the FIR World Cup crown.
For the fourth one after, I think it was 2008, 2012 and 2018. I'm not sure.
I don't know either, but it was amazing. I'm just so excited now. It's late, and we've been here since 7 o'clock in the morning. But I can tell you, I'm so awake, and I'm so happy now for Team Austria. I'm so proud of them. They really performed well. I wasn't really sure if they will make it at some point, but we have to congratulate them. Come back tomorrow. Team Great Britain will play for third place, so it would be really surprised if they don't make it to the podium, and they still have their chance. But we don't know what team they will face, because the other match is really close. And we are switching now to the squash court, where Team Germany is facing Team Denmark. Hello and welcome back. Now we're here with the second semi-final of the FIR World Cup with Team Denmark against Team Germany. And on my side, I have a new co-commentator, or the commentator who will be taking over, and it's a elite player. You all know him. It's Tarek Kuba. Hello, Tarek.
Hello, hello, my friend Peter. Hello, everyone. A great match, as expected. It's very, very tight. We're going to tennis, and Germany is leading by +1. Um, Table tennis, badminton, and squash were amazing. Some, how can I say, some crazy shots in the squash. I've been following that match since the beginning, so I can help you with the commentation. And yeah, what do you expect, Peter, the result to be?
It's really close. Before the match, I called Germany as the winner, especially because of tennis. I think they're playing really good tennis.
Exactly. Yeah.
And now, as it's so close, I would still have Germany favored, but you never know. It's like we saw before. Team Austria surprised because they won tennis like really big, and while the players should like theoretically have been like more closer to each
Yeah.
other, but it was then in the end it can turn out the other way than you think.
Yeah. So
And
I've been hearing the noise when I was following the second semi-final, and I understood that Austria made it to the final. Actually, amazing achievement because the UK team is a really, really talented team. I did not watch the tennis nor the squash, and think Austria made a great tennis, as I heard, right?
yes, it was tight in squash. Squash, I thought Austria would been bigger, but Matilda Paslow surprised Bettina Bugel by taking the squash set 11-3 with a really unconventional game. She had really open forehand, and but Bettina came back in tennis, and Emmanuel performed in all the sports and delivered the points to his team against world number 2 Leon Griffiths. It was really amazing to watch. It was great for Austria. The team was really disciplined. The coaches told them, gave them really good advice.
I think
And
that I think that the semi-final is going to start. Morten Jaksland, Denmark versus Cornelius Radermacher. I think Cornelius is serving.
I will just grab my things. Yes. I will see if I have a co-commentator, if I find a co-commentator for you.
Second serve for Cornelius. What's the call from the referee? Forehand from Morten is out. Attacking forehand. One love, Germany. So as we can see, Cornelius is going for big first serves to surprise Morten. Cross exchange and point for Morten. 1-all. I think this semi-final is going to keep us awake, all of us. I think it's going to go to the distance. First serve, waiting for the ref's call. The ref is calling the ball in. Ace, Morten, 2-1 Denmark. It was a great slice serve outside on the deuce side. Morten going to the net after a big forehand. Good defense and a great smash. 3-1 Denmark. Morten is playing aggressive tennis. Cornelius is doing great in defense for the moment. Double fault, Cornelius. 1-4, Denmark. So the live score overall is +2 to Denmark. Second double fault from Cornelius. Denmark leading by 5-1. Service to follow for Morten. It is a key tennis set to open this last sport in our semi-final, and maybe the last in the last main match of the evening. Forehand exchange. Great. It's a comfortable lead now for Denmark in the first single in tennis. 6-1. The players are going to change the sides. I'm really curious what I'm seeing in the side here. Maybe you don't see it in the screen. Christian Wiesner giving some advices to Cornelius. I'm really curious to know what he's telling him to try and make more points. One more serve to Morten from the outside. I'm looking at the benches here. Germany are discussing. Great serve on the line from Morten. This is what happens in racquetball. When you have a significant lead, you play more confident. You're more confident with your shots, so you go for it. And if you're trailing, you just try to be more safe in your shots. Ace from Cornelius. 2-7. Great serve on the body. I think it touches the line and then it skips. Shop return from Morten. Great inside in from Cornelius. Fantastic forehand. Great point. 7-3 Morten. Serve and volley. Fantastic. Finishing the point with a high backhand volley. So Morten is using on the deuce side the slide serve outside to the forehand of Cornelius. First serve out. Great return. The net band. Amazing rally. Going cross court. Morten find a nice angle with his inside out forehand that Cornelius could not put back. It was directly in the net. 3-9. that a let ball, Mr. Referee? I think it's first serve. Second let. Second serve. A very long second serve near the line that Morten could not return. And it's point for Germany, 4-9. These guys have delivered an amazing match overall. Across table tennis, badminton and squash. As you can see the results. Double fault Cornelius. He was going for the serves in the beginning. No slow second. That's his tactic. I think he was going for the second serves also. Set point for Denmark. And it's an ace. Fantastic ace down the tee. 11-4 in single number 1. So we started before tennis it was -1 for Denmark. Now after the first single it is +6 for Denmark. Coming on court we have two big names of racquetball, two world champions, Stina Jakobsen, the defending world champion, and Natalie Vogel from Germany. It will be very, very interesting to watch. Always when we have two different styles in a game, it's always interesting to watch. Stina is more safe, more defense, more of playing safe ball, and Natalie with an attacking, nice and perfect tennis. This lady also have delivered also an amazing battle. You can see also in the scores. Individually now Natalie before tennis is leading by +1. Fantastic fight. It shows the level what we have in the semi-final World Cup. As we already said at the beginning, we expected a very, very, very close match. And yes, we are all served. Ladies and gentlemen, it is midnight here in Graz, Austria. And action is still on Generali Center Court. We still have two singles to come and one double. +6 to Denmark for the moment. Again, I will give you the names of the players that are representing both countries. For Team Germany, we have as men's single number 1 is Cornelius Radermacher. Women's single representing Germany is Natalie Vogel. Man doubles, we have Thorsten Lemfter and Max Plittenberg. And the second singles of Germany is Christian Wiesner. On the other hand, for Team Denmark, for man single, we have Morten Jaksland women's single we have Stina Jakobsen. For man doubles, Milde Tergood and Soren Smith. And the second man singles is Kristen Hogart. I think we're about to finish the warm-up for the women's single. Natalie Vogel, Germany, will be serving. So close, so exciting. I see people taking pictures, videos. First serve out. Great smash from Natalie. I think we have the first signs of the strategy that Natalie will be using is going a bit deep with the forehand to the backhand of Stina and then rush to the net and try to volley or to smash. We had that in the first point. Let's see if it will be the same strategy. First serve let. It will be a second serve for Natalie. Natalie taking her time to clear the court from the ball. In Raleigh. A backhand slice from Natalie in the net, and it's 1-1. Stina now to serve. Big serve from Stina, great return from Natalie. Forehand exchange to the backhand, and out from Stina. One, two, Germany. Again, first serve in for Stina. Natalie again approaching the net, and the smash. Oh, smash went a little bit wide. The ball was a little bit behind Natalie. It was not an easy smash. Second serve. Stina to the net. Lob from Natalie. Oh, what's the call? What's the call? Oh, so close. So close. I think a couple of centimeters as the referee is giving a point to Denmark. For the first time we saw Stina going to Natalie's backhand and rushing to the net. Great lob from Natalie. I think just 1 centimeter wide. Cross-court exchange. Great forehand from Natalie. Stina is very, very safe with her shots. Natalie playing good smash. The ball from Stina stayed very, very short. And Natalie smashed the ball. So actually playing against Tina in tennis is very, very difficult, I reckon. The balls are very difficult, so you need to be very focused. Oh, ace from Stina Jakobsen. Out wide, forehand side to Natalie. So I was saying that's very difficult to play. The balls that doesn't have pace, you have to put all the pace on it, more focus. You have to use your legs. Short return from Natalie, low from Natalie, smash, and the defense from Natalie out. 3-5 Denmark for the moment. First serve wide. Again, Stina in the net. And the ball touches the top of the net. And it went off Natalie's side. That was a bit fortunate for Stina as she leads 6-3. So both ladies, whenever they have the opportunity to go to the net, so they go for it. They play deep on the backhand and they rush to the net. For the moment, Stina is going for that first serve. Natalie is playing more like a first, second, safer with a bit of kick. A late ball for Natalie. Fantastic serve from Natalie. The attacking forehand from Natalie just stayed on the net, in the net. What is slit? Okay. Great return. Natalie going for inside out with a nice angle. Great. Making Stina move. Left and right. High ball. Little bit short. Drop shot from Stina. Nice one. And the smash. Great defense from Stina, but the lob was a little bit short. And Natalie could finish the point. 7-4 Denmark. I can see, I can smell the tension here around the center court. Exchange ongoing. After the break, Natalie decided to go for forehands with volume, and this landed just outside for Natalie. 4-8, Denmark. Great forehand. Net. Fantastic defense from Stina. As I said earlier, two different style. Natalie attacking, pure tennis. Stina defending. What a forehand. What a forehand. Down the line. After a short return from Stina. 9-5. Denmark. Natalie is playing a good tennis, attacking tennis. Sometimes just a little bit unfortunate when the ball is out by 2 or 3 centimeters. Oh, great return. With what I just mentioned, Natalie is going for the forehand. A winner return. 9-6. Stina is always remaining calm and focused. I think she's putting 80 to 85% of her first serves in. Forehand distribution from Natalie. Left, right, left, right. Stina with her famous patience. Set point to Denmark. Denmark is about to win the second single of the last sport. A 6-10 to Denmark, and overall we have Denmark leading by 10 points. Set to Denmark, 11-6, Stina Jakobsen. Denmark leading by plus 11. Now we're going to move to doubles, man doubles. As I said earlier, Germany represented by Max Plattenberg and Thorsten Lenfter, and Denmark represented by Malte Taragood and Søren Smith. Yes, sir, we have to take the balls for the double, of course. Well done, Milde. So Denmark, for the moment, they have a 1-set lead. with 2 sets to 11 points remaining. If I try and explain the players' profiles here, I think Soren Smith has a pretty decent tennis. Melde has progressed a lot in his tennis, and he has big serves. If he's going to go for the, I believe he will go for the first serves. From the German side, Thorsten is quite a good tennis player, and Max Plattenberg also progressed a lot in his tennis. So it's I say it's a tight match, but it's a must win for Germany. I see a little bit of confidence, relief, a little bit of relief in the faces of the Danish here, as Christian Hogard is warming up on the side. We are about to start these doubles. Torsten and Max need to bring their A game here. To keep the hopes of Germany until the last single and the last point. As I said earlier, Mulder is warming his big first serves. It will be a challenge for the referee to judge. The start of this men's double is really important, as it will build that confidence for each of the sides. I believe going into this set, Danish players will be able to play freely, a little bit of pressure off their shoulders. The German sides, they need to make sure not to give easy points. Doubles is also different, as the players on the back court, they need to make sure that the ball is going quite wide across, to not allow the player in the net to come in and cut the cross and play the volley. Torsten to serve. Okay, it was an ace off the line. So slice serve is very effective in this surface. Players are using it a lot. Slice serve to the body. Double fault. 1-all. Milde to serve for Denmark. Great exchange. Milde going for the winner down the line, but he finds the net. 1-2 Germany. Milde serving on Max. Serve was in, great return. Oh. Good exchange in the net. And point for Denmark. Play cross court. Forehand out from Milde. After 3-4 exchanges cross court with Max. 3-2 Germany. Oh, Max is playing or serving a very safe serve. Unforced error from Soren on the return. 2-4 Germany. Good first serve from Soren. 3-4 Germany. Again, a good first serve from Soren. Exchange cross court with Max. Max with the backhand. Not the backhand from Soren. Slice down the middle. And Soren finds the net. Good rally from Max as he holds the cross court with his backhand. 5-3 Germany. First serve out. A heavy forehand down the middle from Milde. Torsten cannot control that. The slice is going just wide. 5-4 for Germany. Cross court exchange. Finding and first error from Soren. Little break for the players, and then change the sides. Germany is leading by 6 points to 4. The overall margin is +9 for Denmark. Morten is giving advices and coaching tips to the Danes. They need more points, and we're looking at the last singles between Kristen Hogard and Christian Wiesner. Christian Wiesner is a very good tennis player. A very good second serve from Melde. It was a kick serve. Good second kick again. Heavy forehand. Max with the backhand down the middle. A miss in the net. And it is 5-7 to Germany. Germany serving is 7-5. Melde is trying to put power on his first serve, and it is not going in for the moment. 7-6 Germany. Return was wide from Soren. Since the beginning we are in the margin of 1-2 points, 1-2 points, 1-2 points. 8-6 to Germany. Soren Smith Denmark to serve. Germany need a couple of points. Melde in the net with a badminton push shot to the body of Max Plettenberg, and it's point for Denmark. First serve out. Double fault from Denmark. 9-7 Germany, and Torsten to serve. Just out from Melde, the forehand. 10-7 Germany. All the games were so close. Singles, be it man or lady single, double, look at the scores. It's all close. What a forehand from Soren. Down the middle between the two players. The atmosphere here in the benches is a bit unbreathable. As the first serve goes in. So less power. More kick from Melde. 9-10. Still set point for Germany. Great kick. And Soren, he just need to touch the ball in the net, and it's point to Denmark. 10-all. The overall score is back to +11 to Denmark. I think if Denmark wins this, it's a game over. Milde tried to win the point directly, a winner after the second serve of Max, directly in the net. 10-11, set point Germany. Yes, you have to serve from the right. First serve out. Second serve out. There is a bit of discussion. There is still discussion, I don't know. The referee has put the score 11 all. They're discussing the second serve, which was out or in. I don't know why all these discussions in every sport happens at a very crucial moment of the set. It never happens at 1 all, 2 all, 3-3. It has to happen at it has to all happen at 11 all and then set point or maybe it's the moment where the tension is high and players will not let any small detail go. They are still discussing. I don't know what will be the decision, so it should be the referee's decision, I think. The referee is looking to Denmark. Okay, Denmark. Okay, it's a lit ball. It's a lit ball. After discussion, Denmark agreed to replay the point. Fair play to them. First is out. I think the referee he needs to correct the scores. That's done. Set won by Germany. 12-10. Very tight. So the German players are thanking Denmark for accepting to replay the point. Max and Torsten telling them thank you for that. That's the spirit. That's Racquetball. The one family that we're all the time claiming, even though it's very crucial. Every point count. We fight for every single point. Racquetball player knows how tough it is mentally to play racquetball. If you have to fight for every point until 21 for 4 different sports, and you need to change techniques for 4 different sports. Yeah. Kudos to all the racquetball players. When I speak with my friends, my friends that don't practice racquetball but they ask questions about racquetball, they're just amazed by how difficult it should be, even though they are not trying it. The first question is that how do you change rackets? How do you have to change techniques? from table tennis to badminton to squash to tennis. And this is only within 3 minutes. The amount of efforts, sacrifices that every single player of Racquetball is doing is just unbelievable. We don't have one sport to train, we don't have two, we don't have three, we have 4 sports to train, and you have to do some cross training to keep your stamina and to keep your fitness, working your legs, swimming, cycling, running, going to the gym. And this is beside the daily job that every single one of us is doing. So I would like to say kudos and to all the Racquetball players for the love they are showing for the sport, for the rackets, and their dedication, yearly dedication. Traveling to tournaments every month, sometimes twice a month, depending on the World Tour program. And I believe the 2023 program will be very busy. We are all waiting for the calendar so we can start preparing, we can start planning, we can start booking our flights, our hotels, discussing with families where to go. Yeah. Back to the last single of the semifinals here for the FIR World Cup teams event between Germany and Denmark. Germany needs a big score here with Christian Riesner, a very good tennis player. Christian to serve. Serve down the tee. Forehand to the backhand, touching the line, and 1-0 Germany. Christian is going for safer services. Christian has to play a little bit safe, clearing the net by 1 or 2 meters, as every point is important. Two 0 Germany. It is 1:15 here in Graz, Austria. Semi-final FIR World Cup. We'll see what kind of services he's going for. A huge force serve. Yeah, that's the tactic. He needs a couple of points and he will go for first serve. You see, that's Racquetball. You have 2 players on the same court and they have different strategies. For Christian, he needs to be very, very safe. For Christian Hogarth, he needs to go for a couple more. He's going tries. Some winning shots. Good serve again. Good forehand. A drop shot from Wiesner. A lob, great lob. Great play, great point from Wiesner. Good running and fighting spirit from Christian. 3-1 Germany. Safe serve, Oh, it stays on the top of the net. Denmark side. 4-1, Germany. As we said, it will be very, very tight, and it is very tight until the last point. Christian is trying to go for forehand, returns. 1-5, Germany. Wide serve. Wide forehand from Kristen, and then the score is 1-6 to Germany. Morten giving advices to Kristen. Are we going to see Kristen going more to the net, rushing to the net? Good second serve, good forehand. Great rally, the best so far. Very good. Slice backhand. Crucial rally in this set. He's going to the net. What a rally, fantastic rally between the two players. As I mentioned earlier, he will try to go to the net. The ball was from Christian was perfect into the legs of Kristen. It was very, very difficult to control for a volley. I believe Kristen wanted a stop volley. Oh, this is unusual from Christian, playing very, very safe. His backhand going just wide. It's an important point. It's a crucial point. 7-2, Germany. Oh, Christian is going for the forehands. Christian very solid. Great defense from Christian Wiesner. Last forehand from Christian landed in the net. And it is 2-8, Germany. Service to Kristen. Wide. Long return. Very deep. Wiesner pushing. 8 touches the night. 8 touches the line. Yes. Great play from Christian Wiesner. A deep return. Ball coming back short. Playing an inside-in forehand. And following to the volley. But the forehand was a winner on the line. 2-9. Christian is serving. He needs a first serve. He played a 7 serve and volley. And it is a set point to have a gummy arm. It is unbelievable, guys, what is happening. We were expecting a very tight game, but it cannot be tighter as this. It's gummy arm or match point, if my calculations are correct. The ball is out, and we have a perfect equality after all the sets. Now it is coming down to a gummy arm. A gummy arm is when we have perfect equality after the 4 sports. Now we have 146 to 146. There will be a toss and the winner will choose to serve or to receive. But if you choose to serve, you have only one serve. There is no second serve. So normally the players, they choose to give the serve, but there are some brave players that they choose to serve. Who won the toss? Hey, Denmark won the toss. Christian won the toss, and he gave the serve to Germany. Look at this atmosphere. Look at this atmosphere here. Okay, Christian is choosing the side. He wants the odd side to serve. Amazing, unbreakable underarm serve. The ball return went out. And Germany wins. And they qualify to the final of the FIR World Cup. What a match. Crazy match. It was very tight. That was expected. It finishes by a gummy arm. This is how we finish a Racquethlon day at 1 a.m. here in Graz, Austria. Thank you very much for following the days. Thank you very much for following us in the main channel of Streamster. See you tomorrow for more lives. Thank you.